In the top stories, St. Kitts and Nevis participates in Carib Wave 24. 84-year-old woman reported missing and World Down Syndrome Day observed. The details on these stories and more after the break.
Pick your daily reward from the Quartz Ready Cash Money Tree. Every customer is a winner with every loan of $3,000 or more from Quartz Ready Cash. Plus, you get to enter to win a weekend for two at Sandals. No deposit, no collateral needed. All you need is your ID, proof of address, payslip, job letter, and 2 references. Visit your nearest Quartz or Ready Cash location today or apply online at www.quartz.com. Get more for 2024 with Quartz Ready Cash. We are ready when you are. Conditions apply.
Mosoka, 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 mosoka.
Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Channel 5 newscast. I'm Kyla Barrage. St. Kitts and Nevis joined other territories across the Caribbean for the 2024 staging of the Tsunami Response Exercise on March 21st, dubbed Caribbean Wave. The tsunami response simulated tsunami threat situations throughout the Caribbean, which requires the implementation of local tsunami response plans. This year's exercise focused on date bay to lynches. ZIZ News spoke with Acting Deputy National Disaster Coordinator Ulrika Lennon Petty, who was on site for the tsunami exercise.
We had the Date Primary School, some students from the daycare center at Date as well as the Sadler's Primary and Daycare Center participate, as well as some other community members. These persons, once they would have heard the exercise message, either by SMS, radio, or by the emergency responders in the loud hailers that were going around in the community, they would have evacuated to the tsunami assembly points.
Lennon Petty spoke to what could possibly trigger tsunamis in the region.
So a tsunami can be generated by a number of things. The main thing that a tsunami can be generated by is an earthquake, and an earthquake 6.7 magnitude or higher, and this earthquake has to happen in shallow water for it to generate a tsunami, because not all earthquakes generate tsunamis. A tsunami can also be generated by an underwater volcano. For example, we have Kikemjeni in the Caribbean. Just the other day it had a bit of activity, and that's why anytime it's active, we pay close attention to it. It can also be generated by landslide within the ocean. So anything that can potentially disrupt the ocean floor, in a sense that it can cause wave movement, can basically generate this tsunami.
The purpose of this exercise was to evaluate national and local tsunami response plans, increase tsunami preparedness, and improve coordination throughout the region. The exercise was sponsored by the UNESCO IOC Intergovernmental Coordination Group for Tsunami and Other Coastal Hazards Warning System for the Caribbean and adjacent regions, in coordination with the Caribbean Emergency Management Agency and other organizations. The police force is seeking the assistance of the general public in bringing Ada Ward Blois home. Ada, an 84-year-old woman living in Sandy Point, was last seen at 12:45 p.m. on Tuesday at her home by a relative. The Stadium View Alzheimer's resident is 5 feet 7 inches in height, brown in complexion with gray hair. The public is being asked to assist. As March 21st is World Down Syndrome Day, persons with Down syndrome, Erica Rouse and Justin Deming, joined Minister of Aging and Disabilities Honorable Iselene Phillip and media personality Sweet Sister Sensia in releasing a video raising awareness of the condition.
Down syndrome is a genetic condition that affects a person's health, learning abilities, and physical features. It occurs when a person is born with an extra chromosome. So, instead of being born with 46 chromosomes, a person with Down syndrome has 47.
According to the United Nations, each year approximately 3,000 to 5,000 children worldwide are born with Down syndrome.
There is no cure for Down syndrome, but with the support from therapists, special education teachers, family, and members in the community, a person with Down syndrome can live a healthy and fulfilling life.
This means that they have many strengths and talents. Many persons with Down syndrome, they love music and they give some of the best smiles and the sweetest hugs. Can I get a hug?
So, if you know anybody, you can always be considerate if a person takes some extra time to say something or to do something. Or keep in mind that there are some persons with Down syndrome who are non-verbal. So today we're going to hear from Erica, who's going to tell us something very important. Erica?
I love people. I myself.
Thank you very much, Erica. And there you have it.
After the break, Ross University presents 10 scholarships to students, and Prime Minister Drew conducts walkthrough of Mary Child's Hospital. Stay with us.
Here are your Hospital Value Mart IGA specials.
Running March 21st, April 3rd.
And now our Blue Tax specials. Old Orchard apple drinks, $9.99. Nature Valley snack bars, $13.99. Swiss Miss hot chocolate mix, $9.99. Palm cooking oil spray, $14.99. Essential everyday frozen fruit, $16.99. Kellogg's Special K cereals, $18.99. And now our very low weekly
value deals. Nabisco Chips Ahoy, $17.99. Post Great Grain cereals, $18.99. The Colgate toothpaste, $6.99. Ama deodorant, $8.99. Dole fruit bowls, $14.99. Ama liquid detergent, $14.99. Shop smart, shop value mart. Tell them in Spanish.
Sea listo y haga sus compras aquí en Value Mart.
National Home Loans. Get your dream home. All could be yours. Walk through the door. Come take what you need. Get you the keys. All could be yours. What you deserve. National Home Loans. Get your dream home. Get your dream home. Right there. Get your dream home. National Home Loans. Get your dream home.
National Home Loans. Home ownership made easy. When you're with National, you're home.
We've been working to bring you our most reliable internet ever.
And today, we are very excited to offer gig speed on Flo's fiber-powered network.
The best entertainment experience in St. Kitts and Nevis.
And plans that give you everything you need.
It's a new Flo, and it's all inspired.
And it's all inspired.
And it's all inspired.
And it's all inspired by you.
Health-wise on ZIZ TV, Mondays at 8:30 p.m. Hosted by Dr. Malik Lescott, Dr. Jolette Woodley, and Dr. Latrice Lawrence.
Welcome back. On Wednesday, Ross University School of Veterinary Medicine, RUSVM, presented 10 scholarships at the 7th Annual Ross University Scholarship Awards ceremony at the auditorium on the RUSVM campus. This year's scholarship program supports academically deserving students with a financial need and the opportunity to study at the Clarence Fitzroy Bryant College and the Nevis Sixth Form College. Financial support includes up to 2 years of tuition, books, and other fees to students enrolled in either institution. Dean of RUSVM, Dr. Sean Callanan, spoke highly of the awardees, noting the contributions they are making in the community.
When I always look at the backgrounds of these students, I always feel we're in good hands, because who doesn't need a lawyer? So one of them is going to become a lawyer at some stage, and we all need lawyers. We'll also need engineers. We'll also need surgeons. We'll also need many members in government, particularly in areas like education and agriculture. We'll need geologists, and of course we need psychologists, and we'll also need veterinarians. And one of you I know is interested in becoming a veterinarian. So this is wonderful, wonderful news. Also, when I read the documentation, it's very clear that you are not only developing yourselves, but you're also developing many of your colleagues. And you've also already, in your relatively short lives, given so much to the community. And I'm so glad that that has been recognized in how we award these particular scholarships.
He said the institution believes education should be used as a means of empowerment.
We mentioned the word ad talem, we mentioned the word ROSFET, and everyone knows ROSFET, not so much ad talem, and ad talem is the Latin for empowerment. And ultimately we believe, as an organization, that education is one important way to empower. It's not the only way, but it's so important to have education. And education comes in many different facets. Education comes in extremely high-level, intensive postgraduate education, but it also comes at a more basic level of education across early years, early school years. And we've been trying to support in many different levels education.
Award students were given the opportunity for an internship ahead of the award ceremony. They gave advice to future awardees.
Advice to future interns: just come ready to put your best foot forward and take everything as an opportunity to learn, because this is one of those moments where everything you do and everything you say, you have people willing to push you forward and make sure that you grow and you leave here better or more prepared for the world.
I would like to say, when you come to Ross, be determined and ready to work hard. Just give it your best, because you never know where it might lead you in life. Also, be on time for your work and no use of phones.
For the new scholarship students, I advise that you seize every opportunity to learn and to grow as an individual. Take up the mentorship opportunities, engage with the peers and the faculty. Be punctual, and most of all, enjoy yourself here.
Thank you for having us. And to the new scholarship recipients, do your best and have fun.
To date, 83 students have been awarded scholarships. In attendance at the event were Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Education in the Federal Cabinet, Honorable Dr. Jeffrey Hanley, Honorable Troy Liburd, Junior Minister of Education in the Nevis Island Administration, Cabinet Secretary Dr. Marcus Natta, and Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Lisa Romaine Pistana. It was held under the auspices of Her Excellency the Governor General, Dame Marcella Liburd. Prime Minister and Minister of Health, Honorable Dr. Terence Drew, conducted a walkthrough of the Mary Charles Hospital in Molyneux following the completion of remedial work. As part of his walkthrough, Prime Minister Drew visited the renovated pharmacy at the hospital that was reopened on Tuesday to fully serve the people of Molyneux and surrounding communities. The pharmacy was closed in mid-2023 to correct several issues. The Prime Minister spoke of some of the renovations conducted and future plans for the hospital.
We have done a number of other critical things here at this hospital. One, we have resolved a long-standing issue with the toilets and so forth in this hospital. We have also addressed the leaking issues that were associated here. We have also done some work on the grounds. We are also looking at increasing the medical staff as well to make sure that we can improve on the services.
Dr. Drew expressed his satisfaction with the significant improvements at the hospital.
I'm very pleased with the significant positive changes that have been made to this hospital thus far. And we'll continue to work on it to make sure that we get to the accreditation, which is better healthcare delivery for all of our people here in St. Kitts and the Federation on a whole.
The pharmacy is now led by pharmacist Brian Tillett of Belize and will operate on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Delegates from across the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, OECS, are meeting in St. Kitts and Nevis over the next 4 days to discuss and develop strategies to enhance resilience in social protection programs. The March 19th to 22nd conference is the 9th meeting of the Technical Advisory Committee for the OECS Council of Ministers of Social Development. The series of meetings at the St. Kitts Marriott Resort is billed as a shock response social protection learning event. Minister of State responsible for social development, Honorable Iselene Phillip, at the opening ceremony on Tuesday, noted that the discussion on social rights is pressing given the proposed expansion of the free movement of people, goods and services within the Caribbean Community CARICOM at the end of the month.
We in the social sphere, when we have to deal with social service delivery, we understand all too well the challenges with such movements and such decisions present. And so I encourage all of us to be conscious of the wider regional developments as you expand the application of social rights for all persons across the region. I think it's safe to say we understand that one size fits all is not necessarily the case, and we need to recognize that in relation to the differences that our islands have.
She spoke of the significance of social protection frameworks to achieving the Sustainable Island State agenda.
As the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis moves steadfastly to being a sustainable island state, we recognize and celebrate that this can only be achieved through the protection and development of our major resource, our resilient people. And that is why social protection frameworks are so vitally important.
Minister Phillip added that collecting, digitizing and managing information is essential to the region's sustainability in meeting persons where they are. She applauded the collaboration across social protection systems to be reviewed, including presentations from social security boards and national insurance systems. Come up in regional news, Antigua parents to be accountable for crimes committed by children. The details when we come back.
You have dreams you're imagining, goals you'd like to achieve. We're ahead to see you through. We're invested in you. We're invested in you. You can depend on us. We will take care of you with a legacy of commitment you can trust. Have to work along with you. Want you to know we care, and we will strive to do our very best to help in your success. Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Kudos to Hosford's vehicle maintenance. Their quick and efficient service, coupled with a friendly and knowledgeable staff, has kept me coming back for the past 17 years. In fact, my car, which is 13 years old, runs like new simply because of their emphasis on replacing old broken down parts with new and genuine parts, and that I appreciate. So my motto is not try Hosford first, but go to Hosford's first.
We've been working to bring you our most reliable internet ever.
And today, we are very excited to offer gig speed on Flo's fiber-powered network.
The best entertainment experience in St. Kitts and Nevis.
And plans that give you everything you need.
It's a new flow, and it's all inspired.
And it's all inspired.
And it's all inspired.
And it's all inspired by you.
And we're moving now to news on the regional scene. Antigua and Barbuda's Attorney General Sir Stedroy Benjamin says legislation to hold parents responsible for the violent actions of their children could be a reality within months. However, he insists there will be public consultations before the debate takes place among lawmakers. Sherilyn Biza reports.
Public consultation is pivotal in shaping this legislation, where the populace will have a voice in determining the penalties.
When we have our consultations, we get the feedback from the public, and we look at what they think and recommend would be a reasonable punishment in the circumstances. We shall do that.
Penalties could become quite costly for parents, with the aspect of compensation to the victim.
That where someone is injured during an altercation, the judge normally requests and asks whether or not the person desires compensation. That is something happens sometimes. And that is so, then evidence is led as to what the damage is, what the expenses are, and other considerations about compensation for pain and suffering and loss and so on is considered.
Says Stedroy, in responding to concerns the law may have a negative effect depending on the family structure, cites a single-parent structure, noting each case will be looked at on its own merit.
In every case, all the factors will be considered on the merits in that situation itself. So one brush will not apply across the board. Each case will be looked at separately, and each individual incident will be thoroughly examined before any charges are made.
Following Cabinet's nod of approval, legislation will be drafted, then tabled in Parliament. Public consultations will then be held, after which Parliament resumes for debate on the bill. It becomes law after being passed in both houses of Parliament and with the assent of the Governor-General. Instilling the practice of peaceful conflict resolution should now be the order of the day for parents going forward. Sherilyn Beasley reporting for ABS News.
Chairman of the Trinidad and Tobago Cancer Society, Dr. Asante LeBlanc, is pushing for vaping to be included under the Tobacco Control Act, as she says it has reached epidemic proportions. Hesmar.
Vaping should have been there, but because of a change of word, the ends or the electronic cigarettes are not included. And we need to address this because vaping has become a huge epidemic in Trinidad and Tobago. When we're allowing advertising of vaping to our teens as something to do and a way to quit smoking, when it's really a way to hook them onto smoking and other drug use.
Chairman of the Trinidad and Tobago Cancer Society, Dr. Asante LeBlanc, says the present format of the legislation needs to be changed.
I have patients who are waiting years for a mammogram, years for a colonoscopy. It's not right. We need to do better.
The chairman of the Cancer Society says the wait stems from the failure of equipment at all the regional health authorities across the country.
There's always a shortage of breast cancer drugs, for example, prostate cancer drugs as well. So what happens is, and when I speak to the oncologists in St. James, for example, what they're complaining to me about is that while we have approved the newer drugs for treatment, they're on formulary, they're still not available. So then we're giving antiquated drugs, if at all, to the patient.
Dr. LeBlanc was addressing the members of the Joint Select Committee on Social Services and Public Administration on Wednesday. Terry Ann Brown-Campbell, TTT News.
Coming up, U.S. to sue Apple over antitrust violations. International news is next.